Hello and welcome to episode 23 of Dunk's Movie Corner Pod. This is Duncan, Duncan Donut, Duncan Pumpkin, Duncan Doodle, Chances Duncan the basketball. I don't know. If you've thought of it, I've probably heard it. If you're new, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. This is the podcast. It's short, it's quick, it's not overly concise. It's a bit of a ramble. It's me talking about either movies or TV shows that I've seen in the last week. And when I say week, sometimes it's an actual 7 days, sometimes it's five. This week, I definitely did not even realize a week had passed. Life just kind of happened. I got busy, so it's been like 9 days or 10 days. Either way, so that's kind of what this is. I don't spend too much time on any one show, TV wise, or movie, or cinema, or anything like that. It's just a quick little overview of my week. Some weeks, there's 15 movies to talk about. Sometimes there's four. This is somewhere in the middle. If you also, just as kind of a heads up, this is a companion podcast to the Movie Bros, which is a much longer format. It's about hour and 10 or so, where it's a conversation with my brother Hayden and I, where we pick one movie, watch it, dissect, discuss, ramble, banter, kind of chat about that, and then we post it once a week. So if you're looking for something that's more of an actual conversation, I'd say check that out. Otherwise, if you're looking for a quick little ramble, well, you are in the right spot. With that, folks, I think the last thing I talked about was all the movies I saw while I was on a airplane when I was on vacation. So after I got back, I took a couple days off from watching anything, and it looks like the first thing I don't know why I put this on, but I watched Without a Paddle. It's from 2004. It's supposed to be a comedy. That's what I think it's technically marketed as, or a buddy adventure movie or something like that. It stars Seth Green, Matthew Lillard, and Dax Shepard. And, in a very small minor role, Ethan Suplee, the guy from My Name is Earl, who lost a bunch of weight and now he's like, not jacked, but he's kind of a fitness nut. Either way, the main three, they've all gone on to do big things. Seth Green is like the guy behind Robot Chicken, that's been on forever. He did other things. Matthew Lillard is, the voice of Shaggy from like all things Scooby Doo, and Dax Shepard. He's done all kinds of rom coms and comedies, and he's married to Kristen Bell, if that rings a bell. Haha, haha. And man, this fell so flat for me. The reason why I watched this is the poster of it, where they are like half underwater, all beat up. If you've seen it, you'll know what I'm talking about. But that cover is for some reason ingrained in my brain because growing up, my family would buy like 10-page, like paper thin, like comic books, like superhero comic books. And on the back cover, there was always ads for whatever. And this was just on the back of several of the covers. And I don't know why I've always remembered the cover of Without a Paddle. And I never watched it. And for some reason, I think it was on Netflix or something. And I decided to put it on. And either way, it was not good. Letterbox, which is where I track all my movies, gives it a 2.7 out of 5 stars, including half stars. I gave it a 1 star with the review of, is this supposed to be a comedy? Because, wow, there was not maybe in 2004 this was funny. Nothing about this was funny. It wasn't cringy. It wasn't like slapstick humor. It was just like, oh, things happened. And then the movie ended. Cool. From there, I went way the other direction. I watched a 4 out of 5 star movie, so pretty dang good movie from 1999. This is directed by Anthony Minghella, who also did The English Patient, a few things that I've never seen, but I kind of recognize the name. This is The Talented Mr. Ripley, there's several well-known people in this, including Matt Damon as Tom Ripley, Gwyneth Paltrow, Jude Law, Kate Blanchett, as well as Philip Seymour Hoffman, Jack Davenport. It's very good. There are some twists and some abrupt plot changes that will surprise you. I think it's the setting that it's in Rome and Italy, and just overseas and not tropical, but like exotic European places that really pumps up the oranges and yellows, and like everyone's super tan. But wow, again, I'm very much heterosexual, but like Jude Law, dude, he ate. He fucking killed it, dude. His character, obviously not as likable, but like just objectively speaking, just dude, those are the goals. This is where I want to be. That's what I'm going for. Mm. Yeah, again, I don't want to give it away because it is surprisingly dark. It's very good. I would recommend watching if you can. I don't know where it's available. I think I just grabbed this from the local library. Um, yeah, I'm quite glad I finally watched that. That's been on my watch list forever, I feel like. So that's definitely a 4 out of 5. Letterbox gives it a 3.8 out of 5, which I think is fair. I think I'm pretty spot on with a 4, but that's pretty biased, of course. From there, I feel like again I downgraded. Went to 2009. Again, I have no idea why I put this on. I've seen it before. It was bad the first time. I gave it a bad review, so I know that it's bad. And then I put this on, what day was that? I put this on New Year's Eve. And I think I put this on in the background while I was like writing goals and how to attain those goals this year, and just like a year in review and doing some like looking back of the year. And I feel like everyone posted some sort of like, this is my year or whatever on some sort of social media. So of course I was doing that, being a little more reflective. Yeah, I just that's context. But this is Couples Retreat. This came out in 2009. The cast is fairly stacked for like who it is. It just wasn't good. Vince Vaughn, Jason Bateman, Jon Favreau, Christian Davis, Christian Bell, John Reno. There's a ton. I mean, I don't want to like name all the random because these are none of them are like A-list actors, but they're all like pretty well-known people. If you looked at them, you'd recognize them. And it just never really hit its stride. It was trying to be kind of a romantic comedy, feel good. I don't know. Maybe again, it's not 2009 anymore. I'm not in my 40s married, so maybe I wouldn't find these jokes as funny or relatable. But yeah, I'm glad all of these people went on to do other things, better things, literally anything else besides this. I gave it a 2 out of 5, which I guess should tell you just how bad Without a Paddle was, because this was pretty not good, and that's how much worse Without a Paddle was. But so that's Couples Retreat. And then on New Year's Day, per a previous conversation with Hayden, where we had discussed a couple movies that I have seen that he hasn't, and vice versa, and I had some time to kill in the middle of the day, and I was looking forward to I don't know, just not doing a lot. I feel like a lot of my days are pretty full. I've been busy. So we sat down and watched 2 movies. First we watched was Shin Godzilla. I will say the poster for this, very cool. The marketing promotional stuff, super cool. It's a lot of like silhouette-y stuff, and there's some of this movie, the actual like Godzilla stuff, pretty cool. Wow. And I want to give the movie props, and I want to kind of dig at it because it shows just how much like political red tape there is in a country for like evacuations and like defensive response, and like they show just how many goddamn meetings that they have to go through for any decision to happen in any kind of government, which is doesn't make me feel great about like, oh, if something, obviously not Godzilla, but like like a truly something, I don't know, just anything happened, just how long it would take for some actual like steps to be taken. But on the flip side of it, the movie is like, I would say, let's call it 70% just people talking in rooms, or like legitimately people talking in conference rooms about just what they're going to do, and then they're like, oh, we need to move. They literally say, oh, let's move to this other room to have this other conversation. Yeah, like again, I'm glad that they showed like this is actually how the system would work if this was to happen. Yeah, it was not interesting at all. Not anything. I mean, I tuned out so hard. So the like, I don't know, probably a total like 20-25 minutes of actual like super dope Godzilla doing Godzilla things. really did not stack up well. Like there was cool stuff. I will like if you're here for cool Godzilla stuff, there are bits like I'm sure you could probably find a compilation video on YouTube and not waste the full 120 minutes, but Hayden likes it. He's got it on Blu-ray. I'm glad I saw it. I don't think I will probably ever watch it again. From there, because that's the movie that he had seen and I hadn't, I showed him the 2024 Roadhouse, or Road Space House, which is the whole joke of the movie, with Jake Gyllenhaal. That did not get a theatrical release. It only went to Prime. It was a whole thing where the director was arguing with Amazon because Amazon bought MGM, which produced the movie. Either way, the movie is a ton of stupid fun. It's got the music, the lighting, the action sequences. No, it's not going to win an Oscar, but like, I genuinely think it. I mean, we reference this in our end of year kind of overview on the Movie Bros. So if you haven't listened to that, that's a long, it's like an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes of us basically talking about every single movie that came out last year. But I think that was maybe it was not the best movie last year. That might be Dune 2 or something else, but it might have been the funnest experience watching a movie that year because I watched it with roommates at the house, drinking a beer or a cider. Like it was just fun. It was a good time. I'm bummed it didn't get a theatrical release, but at least I'm glad it was released at all compared to other movies that are shelved. Like I know there was a Batgirl movie that was literally like in production, like it was shot, the actors were paid, and then they're like, "Oh nah, we're just not going to release it because we don't even think it's going to make its budget back. We're just going to eat the cost and not do any marketing or anything like that." Just I'm glad it at least came out. That's all. From there, oh yeah, and sorry. So Shin Godzilla gave like a 2.5 because again, there's good stuff, but there's a lot of not so interesting stuff. And then Roadhouse, I would give like a 3.5 because again, I don't think I gave it any higher because it's not like an amazing movie, but I give it that much for the easy, like digestible watchability and like fun factor for the movie. And that is kind of it. I have not really watched a whole ton of stuff in the last I don't know, week and a half. I'm maybe supposed to be recording and posting another one of these in like 4 days, and there's just I don't think I'm going to be able to watch a ton of movies in that time, so you might be prepared for episode 24 since I think this is episode 23. Episode 24 might be also pretty short and pretty light, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. That's the way the movie ends sometimes. So if you're looking for more, like I said earlier, check out the Movie Bros. Those are much longer conversations where we dive deeper into a specific movie. We cover everything from comedy, horror, suspense, thriller, action, adventure, romance, the classics, new stuff. And if you have any suggestions on things I should be watching either on this podcast or for that where I talk about it with my brother, there's comments on Instagram, Spotify. I think the podcasts are both now on Amazon and Apple. So wherever you find your podcast, I think it's now available. I think I did the right linking account thing for both of those. But also, I would say just keep in mind we're also figuring this stuff out. So sometimes the audio is not great. Sometimes the edit is weird. Sometimes we may not post on the right schedule. Whatever. We are humans. We are trying to figure this out. There's no like step by step. This is how you do this very specific thing. So I appreciate the patience. I know we are now going into a new year. I did not do like an end of year episode for this podcast. I guess got busy with again life as well as the other podcasts. We did a long wrap up for that one. So again, I'd say check that out. Not to shamelessly plug that any more than any humanly possible. But yeah, this has been Dunk's Movie Corner. If you have anything else for me, obviously let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you again in like 4 days when my regularly scheduled post should be coming out.